Hello everybody and welcome back to the Air and Out podcast. I'm Sam, your host. Now, you might have noticed that we missed an episode and I'm not going to beat around the bush. Ben and I's calendars have clashed and we haven't been able to record as much as we would have wanted to. Ben's away at the moment and I'm away at the moment, so we're not able to kind of bring our heads together. But I did promise an episode last week, and an episode I have for you, and it is something special and that I'm looking forward to bringing towards you because it's a throwback. It's a deep look inside of one of the gems of the Air and Out podcast. It is a compilation, as I'm sure you've guessed already, of the best of Brandon Waine. I'm excited for this and I hope that you are too. If you want to find everything in between, then please go and check out the rest of the video. I managed to cut it down to about a quarter of what it was, so there's a whole lot more out there to see and to learn from. I cut out most of my stuff. Didn't think that was important, but you might. So if you want to hear more from my perspective from that interview, it's all there. A couple of things that I learned is that one of them is Brandon is actually very funny. Like, I noticed that in the interview, I was kind of focused. I was gung-ho on doing what I was doing and what was in front of me. But in the edit, oh my God, I realised how funny he actually is. So, and what an amazing laugh. I mean, I completely strike out with all the guests that I have because they have such amazing and beautiful laughs, and Brandon is definitely part of that. As always, like, favour and subscribe. Let us know what your favourite part of this is, and if you believe in our message, it is ever pertinent, because there are those who aren't quite as fortunate as Brandon and don't make it out the other side. And by sharing, by liking, by engaging, we're all working collectively on doing something about that.
Give a little bit longer.
Yeah, of course. Okay, so my name's Brandon. I've struggled with sort of depression, anxiety for many years of my life. I sort of got diagnosed with depression, I think about 12, 13 years old.
Really?
I was quite young, yeah. And I'd say still have quite bad anxiety sometimes.
Yeah.
When I go into university, I still get my heart racing kind of thing. But I think luckily nowadays I'm on the other end of that, and I've managed to sort of come out of that throughout my teenage years.
Yeah, it's like seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
Making your way towards it.
Yeah, and I think I'm by no means perfect. I still have days and weeks where I still feel really shit about stuff, but definitely on the other end of that kind of stuff. So yeah, pretty good. But the nerves are kicking in now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's real now.
Hopefully we'll cross the threshold.
Yeah. I can get comfortable. We were chatting before and I was pretty fine, but now the camera's on.
Honestly, yeah, like that's why I sent Brandon a message saying, just to let you know, there's not a whole lot that you need for this interview, but just make sure your screenwear isn't like a big baggy hoodie, because I noticed it. I went on a radio when I was at uni, but as soon as you, like with the podcast as well, as soon as you hit that record button, your temperature goes.
Yeah. I think growing up, I never really had many role models when I was a kid. I didn't look at anyone and say, I want to be that guy, you know. And I think when I've grown up, I wish that a lot of young men and women, young people, had a role model that I needed growing up. And I do voluntary work. So I actually work at a youth club, local to me, and just sort of give as much of my wisdom as I can to the youngsters there. You know, when I'm at the youth club, I tend to say to them, like, what do you want to do? How are you going to get there? What makes you happy? What are you passionate in? What are your hobbies?
Yeah.
Ask them these questions, make them think about it, and also say, there's nothing stopping you from getting there. You know, you've got all the power to do these things.
I love that, man. You're giving those kids the direction that you wanted in your life, but yeah, I can't imagine how much it's doing for them.
Yeah, no, I hope so. The world is complicated. You're a teenager, you've got a lot of hormones going on. I understand that. And then also you've got the influence of sort of online presence and social media. And I know that doesn't help at all. everyone knows that.
Mm.
So I kind of was very lost with what job I wanted to do, who I was, what I valued as a person, who I want to hang out with, and what I want to do for work and everything. I was just a very lost soul. And obviously I know that's not me. I think it was just, mental health and my surroundings potentially, but I struggle with that a lot. And I think it got to a point where the thought of not existing and not having to deal with those emotions and those feelings was a better alternative to just existing in that place where you're purposeless and you have this kind of constant emotional thought patterns and that voice in your head that's kind of telling you, you're not good enough, you can't do this.
You're going 100 miles an hour, but you're not going anywhere.
Precisely, yeah. Yeah. So that, it got quite a lot for me back in the flat. It was a 1-bed flat, so I lived alone, essentially. So coming home in the evenings and not really having to be able to socialise and stuff like that didn't help.
Got no one to share with or talk to.
Yeah. It was very much, I had everything in my head negative, everything that I could think of all at once.
Yeah.
Very hopeless. I think hopelessness is probably the best word to describe the feeling that nothing's ever going to get better in your life. And also I very much struggled with sort of blaming myself for a lot of the stuff that I went through as a kid. And so I very much, took the blame myself for things that were out of my control that maybe I didn't have any kind of influence on. That was really difficult. So I almost felt like I deserved it. Like, you are the problem and I need to get rid of the problem.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier, 2019 really got to a really low point in my life. And I attempted to take my own life. And it was in my flat, and I'm very fortunate to be here today. I had about 5 minutes left before I wouldn't be here. I was lucky enough that by fate, like we said, before, I think it was before the podcast or the start, my mum randomly came to drop something in my house. And she managed to sort of break in the window and resuscitate me. So I'm very, very fortunate. And from that day, really, something switched. And I knew that if I didn't have a purpose, then I wouldn't be here. I'm not religious, I'm very much open to the idea of religion, but fate, maybe that is real, I'd like to say also that I don't hold grudges against these people. We're all young. I think it's important to forgive the people that do these things, because otherwise I'll just live out the next 50 years of my life holding that grudge.
It'll stick with you.
That's just not healthy. They're young. Maybe they won't get anywhere in life. I don't really care, but I'm not going to see them again.
Maybe they were escaping something.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. I think it's very important to have perspective.
It's good that you...
Because I could sit here and I could slag them off and say all these things, but no, I've probably made people feel like shit before as well.
Yeah,
that's just how it is. So I don't ever blame them for that, but I do feel like that was definitely a tipping point. For me.
It's just the cherry on top of it, on top of the depressing cake.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Where
Excellent
did that come
metaphor.
From? Yeah.
Someone get that and get that quoted.
Welcome to the podcast. Jesus Christ.
Only probably a few years ago, I was exactly the same. I was looking at these people, like fascinating people that I loved, like David Goggins and that kind of, that idea of masculinity was really appealing. So I was getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, going out for runs, I remember running in my eye bags going as well, but, and that is great, but also there's always a balance.
You've got to have it.
Because then I was getting 5 hours sleep a night and I was feeling rubbish at 11 a.m. and then that doesn't obviously help your mental health either.
When I was like that, I was facing like bi-weekly burnouts.
Yeah.
So I I try something new, burn out completely, then be like, fuck, right, got to start again, try something else, burn out. But the moment you just make that decision and you see that slowing it down, taking your time, smelling the flowers. I know it's cliche,
but 100%, man. Yeah, just like when I'm eating food, I sometimes you're doing things mindfully. They taught me to this when I was growing up, and I've never appreciated it until now. And it's just going out, having a walk without music. You're not going anywhere, but just looking around and looking like, that's a cool, look at that building. That's
completely cool. Present in where you are. Like letting all your senses engage with the world around you. Yeah, walking has been massive for me. Just like this morning, crack of dawn, get up, take the dog out and just use that as a form of meditation in itself.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
Be a part of the world and connect with the world around you before going off and doing what you need to do.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, massively beneficial. 1%.
Have you read Atomic Habits? Read that?
My man over here.
Yeah. That is a brilliant book. Fantastic. Talks a lot about. Do you know much about it?
I haven't read it.
So it's just essentially about these little 1% changes that you can do every day.
Yeah.
And this is what I've tried to incorporate into my life. So things like you get up and you do everything you do in a normal day, but you just make your bed nice.
Yeah.
Get the nice little pillows and whack them down. And maybe get that little thing that goes on the end of the bed, the kind of blanket.
Yeah.
Do that, like a hotel.
Yeah.
And then after a month of doing your bed every day, just do something else. Maybe, get some nice face scrub. Do your face every morning.
Do something nice for yourself at the start of the day.
Just little 1% things. It doesn't have to be a lot. You don't have to be going out for runs at 5 o'clock in the morning and
you don't have to completely break yourself.
Yeah, and like eating protein shakes with 8 bananas in and all that. You can just little things
be kind
every
to
day.
Yourself and
100%.
Like that. Yeah.
You can't get better if you're not here, right? So if I you can't be happy if you don't exist. Things aren't going to get better if you're dead. And I think if you're getting to that point, there's always light at the end of the tunnel. I know it's cliche. I heard it so many times when I was in this position. But it's just so important. And also, you wouldn't believe how loved you are. There's a lot of people that do love you, and you're not aware of it, but there are.
Yeah.
And you would be missed if it got to that stage where, with me personally, we're given an opportunity on planet Earth of all of the different things that could have happened. We're born, and we have a short time frame to live on planet Earth, and experience these things and do things like this and talk to people. And we're lucky enough to be conscious to know about this and know how our brain works and understand things, and we've got a very short window where we can experience that. And I would never want anyone to waste that moment, that window, and cut that window off early, because life is, it's just cool. We're just a little like water rock floating around the universe.
Yeah.
We might be the only things in the universe, so I never want anyone to feel like they're, that's too much for them. And if I had to set up a call center with just me in, just so people could phone me, if they're at that point, I really would. And I do it for a lot of my mates. I try my best to sort of speak to them, and because I never ever want someone to go through what I had to go through ever again, because I want people to see the beauty in life, and I know how hard that is when you're in that position.
But you're not doing nothing.
Yeah.
You're doing something.
No, I am. I know. I always think I could do more, though.
Of course.
But to give myself some credit and not to be too hard on myself.
You're doing something.
I'm only just a man trying to figure it all out as well. Yeah. I mean, what I mean by, I'm not saying go to Spain, but what I'm saying is you just need to just be present and understand that you are here on Earth.
Yeah.
But I know this is not easy. I completely get it. I remember people telling me when I was depressed, my doctor and stuff, and I'll just go for a walk. it's not. I know it's not.
You want to tell them
easy.
to fuck off?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's just like, what? You go for a walk. I didn't want to be
walk.
alive. And what are you on about?
Yeah.
No, I can. Yeah, I get that. I really do. I think it's just so. It's so difficult. I think it's just trying to exist outside the boundaries of your own mind.
Yeah. Because one thing after another, like, it is compounding negatively as well. Like, you get the positive compounds and the negative. You can suffer that 1% backwards. And with that, I think you withdraw into yourself, and then you learn to adapt. You learn to exist within your own mind.
Yeah.
And that might not be getting any better.
I struggle with that a lot as well. Yeah. I'm not very proud of myself a lot of the time. But looking back to sort of 5 years ago, when I was doing a job I hated and working a lot and didn't have a lot of money a lot of the time, I wasn't very fulfilled by anything I did. I had a lot of mates. To now, where I've done these events, I'm on this podcast, I run a guest house at the weekends, I'm at uni, I do volunteering, I did a bit of voluntary work for Mind. This kind of, that difference is amazing. I'm here to show you that in 5 years, everything can change.
Night and day. I'm like that. I turned 25 not long ago. People are like, you're halfway to 50.
Oh, God.
I don't have time for that.
No.
The way I see it is 5 years ago, look at where I was. Look at how less of an individual that I was, and say what you want. But look at where I am now. Think of where I could be in 5 years' time. Give me another one of them. See what I can do with it.
I don't think that ever stops. I will never stop learning until my brain just doesn't
Forever
work
a student.
anymore. Yeah, no, yeah. I'm a chronic overthinker. I think a lot of that's because I like to people please.
Okay.
I very much like to keep everyone happy. So if I say something that I think might have upset them, they might not have even noticed what I've said or heard me. I think about that for years. Yeah. I have it a lot where those shower thoughts, think about in the shower. I think, why did I say that?
Shower regrets.
Yeah. Yes. But the overthinking as well for me was thinking of scenarios in my head. So I'm coming to do this podcast. I was thinking on the train up here.
Yeah.
What if I say this? What if I'm looking like this in the camera? What if this? And what if that? And what if the train just breaks down and explodes? And it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
But
it's still occupying your mind.
Yeah.
You're still playing it out. It's like a self-defense mechanism. If this were to unfold, how would I deal with it? And you're never really focused on the resolution. Just shit, this could happen. Fuck, what would I do?
Yeah.
Yeah, they teach that in children's psychology. It's how they teach children about anxiety.
Right.
They call it invisible tigers.
Okay.
So they tell these children anxiety is like there's an invisible tiger hidden around the corner of the wall. You can't see it. You won't see it because it's invisible, but you're still worried about it being there. You won't ever know until you have a look around the corner and you find out that it doesn't exist.
That's interesting. Because overthinking, I think, anxiety and overthinking overlap a lot. I think again, like I said about depression, I think anxiety is...
It's like the overcompensation of thought
and
worry and care. But I think depression is the complete opposite. It's the complete void of all of that. It's the complete polar opposite. So the anxiety...
Void.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, you're trying to think of every solution. You're trying to work out every equation, work out every possibility, potentiality, reality. Depression is nothing. What if?
That's a very good way of putting it.
Yeah. It's like
I think... Yeah, I like that.
Complete absence of care, of worry, of love, of everything. Everything's just blank.
I think depression and anxiety usually coincide as well quite a lot. Because I think when you're overthinking about a lot of these things, you never actually give yourself a chance to think.
Yeah.
Much like the room, your bedroom, if it's all dirty and there's clothes everywhere, and
how can you
process where stuff is? That's why I have a tray for my keys and my wallet, because I know where that is then. My key, okay, I'm not perfect. Yeah, I've got laundry on the floor, whatever. No, I'm 24, like, let me off. But at least I've got kind of a bit of a structure to what things is going on. And I think it's exactly the same as your mind. There's a lot of things going around, very anxious and overthinking about every possibility to every different scenario. And how on earth are you going to think about what you want to eat tonight?
Yeah.
Or what you enjoy doing, or what you want to do today.
I think with the depression, you don't have the fortitude or the resilience to kind of give yourself that leg up. If something goes bad, it's almost like it was meant to happen. It was going to happen. It was inevitable. This is what happens when you try.
Yeah.
You start climbing up the hill, you slip because it's wet, and you're fucked.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And then I would instantly be like, I would deserve that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then 3 months later, I'd be thinking, oh, that was so embarrassing.
Yeah. It's
the bloke walking his dog saw me and he was laughing. I'm so embarrassed. I'm never going to see that guy again.
Yeah.
Why am I embarrassed?
The amount of time it occupies you in your mind.
Yeah.
It's
So
ridiculous.
don't let it torture you.
Yeah, you even ask yourself, you're conscious of the fact it's there, it's lingering about, and you're like, why am I thinking about this? And you know that it's gone, it's part of history, but you're still, I don't know, there's something about it that you're not processing it. You're not moving on from it, because it's like looking yourself in the mirror and thinking, you're a dickhead, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's I think questioning those thoughts as well when they come about and saying, maybe I wasn't this, maybe I'm very uncomfortable as well. It made me very uncomfortable because it felt like I shouldn't be doing it. My brain was kind of, after years of training, was trained to do that automatically and have that self-hatred automatically.
It comes conditioned in that way, and that's how depression comes about, because it is like that negative 1%, always backwards and backwards and backwards. It compounds, it becomes the norm, and becomes your reality.
I think as soon as you start to question that, you kind of have a bit of a pushback.
Exactly. I mean, it won't start with pushing back. It's just keeping it where it is, saying, actually, hold on, before we go any further, forward or back, why is this happening? What's going on? Why am I thinking this way? Being aware, or at least bringing it into question, having that little bit of introspection or self-awareness it does develop into a massive tool against pushing back.
I mean, how I sort of started doing that was just trying to have perspective on things, even though it might make you uncomfortable. So, for example, the bus driver is really rude to you when you get on the bus, and you think, oh, what a knob. You might think, oh, I bet no one likes him. I bet he's a hated person. I think it's important to say, okay, well, maybe the bus driver's dog just died yesterday, or maybe the bus driver is going through some stuff as well. Really didn't want to get out of bed this morning, but he's got mouths to feed. I think it's very important to have perspective.
Yeah.
And then it also is a very important skill for yourself as well, for your mind. So when you're overthinking things, say, I don't know, something you've said to someone, you don't know if that's hurt their feelings. Or some random person you've slipped over and they've laughed at you, or whatever. It's important to say, oh yeah, that was a bit embarrassing, or maybe I have hurt their feelings, but maybe I haven't. And also, I'm not really going to see them again, and they probably won't be thinking about it. So let's just give myself a bit of a chance to forget about that, accept that I did that, maybe I'll try not to fall over again.
Yeah.
Or I should try not to say some hurtful things again. But let's just accept that I've done that now, it's in the past, and let's just move on from that.
Because it's almost like you're treating it as final. Like you've laughed at it, you've fucked up, you've messed up. And now that's like a brand that you have to wear on yourself, knowing that you did this poor, horrible thing.
Yeah.
However minor it may be, that's something like something that I keep thinking about is flagellation.
What is that?
In history, you got the people who roam the countries whipping themselves on the back with their Bibles. That's flagellation.
Right.
You're just walking around punishing yourself for something that you've done because you deserve it, because you think it's the only way that you can find peace is if you It's an interesting word that's been floating around.
That's very metaphorical to something we do in our brains now. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is that thinking.
Congratulations, quite a fun word.
It is. Yeah, the thinking that you deserve it, or that this is what you should be doing, and it's the only productive way of moving forward to punish yourself for something that you did however long ago.
I've always been a gamer.
Yeah.
Right, I've always played a lot of video games. As a kid, sort of teenager as well, I was probably borderline addicted to playing video games.
Yeah, cool.
And I think a lot of that was to distract myself from that noise.
Escapism.
Yeah. Being present. It's a much more healthier alternative to shooting people on Call of Duty for 8 hours a day. Sit in the garden. I love doing it in the mornings now. I've got my dog Boomer.
Boomer.
She's beautiful.
What a name.
It's actually named after the OK Boomer meme.
Oh, really?
A few years ago, yeah. Said it to my auntie as a joke, and she was like, yeah, I'll take it, Boomer. So, she's beautiful. We just sat out in the garden in the morning, have a cup of coffee.
Love that.
And sit there, and you can just, just watching her is amazing, because she just looks around little them. She can hear a bird. And
she's reacting to the world around her, not preoccupied.
Yeah, she's not thinking, oh, when am I going for a walk? And what if the walk's like only 10 minutes?
She's just here.
She loves it.
Love that. Yeah.
Be like a dog.
Simple.
Yeah.
Easy going.
But don't put on the floor or we're on the floor. That's bad. I came to this realization that I might, I'm going to die eventually. So am I going to spend my whole life trying to get money and be successful? And I could still be unhappy. So I sit down on my deathbed, telling my grandkids, I spent my entire life trying to chase, some physical, virtual little number in a bank account somewhere.
Chasing numbers.
Yeah, but I never succeeded, and that has been my whole life. Or do I sit down with them and say, yeah, I did some cool stuff as a kid.
You got stories.
Yeah, I never had much money.
Experiences.
But no, I went over, I'm going to going on holiday next year. Stuff like that, it's just...
Memories.
Yeah, absolutely.
Life has been lived.
Yeah. So what do I value more? And as soon as I had that realization, it's changed a lot. A lot of that pressures, sort of that weight off your shoulders. Oh, okay. So we're going to be all right,
One of the first quotes that really kind of stuck out to me was in a theology and ethics lesson.
Okay.
And it was, just because you're alive doesn't mean that you're living.
Yes.
I was like, fuck. Right. That was like 13-year-old.
Deep lessons. Yeah.
We moved completely on from that, but I just thought I had to write that down.
That's cool.
It's taken me fucking years. I'm getting there, but live. It's such a difference between waking up every day, meeting the end of the day, and actually doing something, being alive, smelling the flowers, being present.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, this is it. That idea of wanting to be successful and pushing myself every day to learn these new things, and in order to maybe be financially free or any of that. Is that really me? Or am I just seeing guys on the internet doing it and saying,
is that end goal? Is that going to give me what I
want? Is that actually going to make me happy? Just think about that for a second. Maybe it does for some people. Maybe when they've got money, then they feel financially stable, and then that's when they're happy. I don't think that's the same I don't think that's the truth for a lot of people now.
Yeah.
When I had that realization, I'd say, if I just spent my entire life doing cool stuff and just trying to be happy, that's an awesome life. I'm not taking anything with me. I'll be forgotten about in 3 generations anyway, potentially. So, just living my little time on this earth, that little window of opportunity, just try and do some cool stuff that I want to do.
Do it your way.
Yeah, not trying to impress people.
You're Brandon.
Yeah, I'm Brandon. I'm going to just do some stuff. Yeah, tell some stupid jokes.
Live Brandon's life.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I can't just start doing what people expect me to do. I'm not going to do anything perfectly. No one ever does. And that's okay.
I like to say that perfection is an ideal, but not a goal,
Mm.
not an achievable goal.
Mm.
Because I couldn't tell you a single thing in this existence that is perfect.
No.
Nothing's meant to be.
And that's what's beautiful about life, though.
100%.
Otherwise, how's boring that? Like how boring life is. If everything's just perfect.
It's meant
Everything
to
just
be
works.
the way that it is.
Yeah. There's no pub fights. Everyone just goes in there, gets a San Miguel. Hi there. Yep. See you later.
No one gets rowdy.
Boring as
Everyone
hell,
sits down. Yeah.
And there's no bouncers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love
That's what it is, though. You know,
Yeah.
that's like those, again, very cliche, but those imperfections just is what makes life so cool.
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The best of, or at least my favourite parts of Brandon Waine episode. I spent a lot of time editing this, putting it together while I was up here doing my training, and I had a great time because it gave me such a deep and rich insight into the episode and into Brandon that I wasn't quite able to appreciate when I was doing the interview and when I was watching it again. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful for Brandon and his time. I hope, Brandon, if you're listening to this, wherever you are, you're still killing it. You're still having a great time doing what you're doing and living your life the way that you want to. Appreciate you guys being here. Again, thank you for your patience. We'll get back on schedule soon enough, but for now, I hope that you can appreciate what we're giving to you in the meantime. Lots of love. Like, favourite, subscribe, share. If you agree with our message, let us know or let somebody else know. Take care, guys.